15 microns a pixel. These images demonstrate the diversity of rock texture here, something else that makes it an attractive site. So if you'll go to the slide Yingst 1, just to give you an idea of the real estate here, this is an image taken by Molly from about 5 centimeters offset distance. The image itself is about 3.5 centimeters across. And what you're seeing here is a relatively dust-free, coarse-grained sandstone, where sand has a very specific definition of grain sizes from 125 microns to about 2 millimeters. And the thing that's interesting about this image is that there are several larger grains in the matrix, and they are pointed out by the yellow arrows. Now, one of these, the lowest one, has caused somewhat of a stir in cyberspace. It's a little clearer with an unusual shape. This is also approximately a sand-sized grain, a lot larger. It's on the large end. But it's interesting because of that color and luster and shape, which tells us it might be composed of something a little different. But in general, this entire image shows a real diversity of the size of grains and the distribution of grains. Many of these larger grains are actually rounded. So if we move on to the slide Yingst 2, this is from the Equire 1 target. This is a GIF of before and after brushing, and Molly took these images from about a 25 or a 25 centimeter, 10-inch offset distance. And this spot is something like 2 by 2.5 inches, the brush spot. So if you move on to the slide Yingst 3, this is a close-up of the previous image that you saw, and the real estate covered here is a lot smaller. This is taken from 1 centimeter offset distance, which is absolutely astounding that we can get that close with a 7-foot arm that weighs 200 pounds. So this is just from a centimeter off the ground, and the entire area covered in the image is less than that of a small postage stamp. It's a very small piece of real estate. This is a very fine-grained rock. The grains are at or below Molly resolution. The black grains are approximately 2 to 3 pixels across, so 35 to 50 microns. But we're looking at silt grains here, and these grains might represent the particle size of all of them, or it could just be at the large end of the distribution. So the stuff we're looking at here is finer than powdered sugar, but coarser than the sugar that's typically used to make icing. So the site contains a broad variety of rock textures, anything from conglomerate to sandstone to siltstone, and all of these are sedimentary rocks, meaning that other rocks had to be broken down into fragments and transported elsewhere, and then turned into rocks, lithified, meaning that Mars, at least in this location, was geologically active enough to have created such rocks, which is totally cool. And the different grain sizes in each of these and the distribution tell us that all 3 rocks were formed by different conditions. So it was active in a diverse sense with 1 or more transport mechanisms in play. All in all, very exciting for drilling.